conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking. No hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
We're running straight through the middle.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Oh, you saw it coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Marlon Humphrey. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. From the gun, Jackson dancing to his left. He can run for it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very... And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one covers 29 yards. First down. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Good one, bro. Good one, bro. You got it. You got it.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield now on 2nd down. Jackson. Snead's got it. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. On 1st down, it's Ingram. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
That's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal.
And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out it's not the case.
Down.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They run. Devontae Freeman. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Right now, so that way you score this quarter.
Play action, Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
We're going to flip the play up. We're going to go a whole different direction with it. Oh, man, be open, be open.
Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Yeah, Mary.
Ready, like 25. Hey, man. Watch the boot, watch the boot. Check three.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Check it back.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
I want to be the one to score first half. At least let me get on the board.
Ready, we're ready.
Let's get down that far.
Let's go.
Play action. It's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage of the game, but you think social media may be fired up a little bit right now?
The coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be
got a man.
Man, that's some bullshit, man. Come on, man.
Touchdown.
That's some bullshit. I want to challenge
that. Final seconds of the first half.
I want to challenge
his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we don't see too many scoreless halves in football in today's day and age, and we're not going to see one here. We finally have points on the board.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy, did it? Because neither of these offenses really getting out of the starting blocks yet. But that is definitely an important score right there. And who knows? The way their defenses play, that touchdown might even hold up until the end.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12.
I ain't doing no good even kick the ball off.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And now look at him go. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the afternoon as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back.
The city, what a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys are going to take over at the... Yard line.
Intercepted. The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Ingram again. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And the Falcons...